All right. Here's a little story I like to call I got screwed by a backwoods Alabama Kia dealership. This happened right on about, I guess, 2 weeks ago now. I was sitting at home, got a phone call from my daughter, and of course, well, I guess it's been longer than that, but I got a phone call from my daughter, and she said that she'd been in an accident. A young lady had gone wide in the parking garage in her apartment complex and taken out the left front side of her Prius, the unicorn car. It's a unicorn car because it was an 06 Prius. When I bought it 3 years ago, had 29,000 miles on it. When it got wrecked, it had 50,000 miles on it. So 21,000 miles over 3 years, 7,000 miles a year. Minimal mileage being added to this vehicle. So an incredibly low mileage Prius. Not only that, but it was also one of the Priuses that had the 5 kilowatt hour battery in the back of it where it'd run on pure electric. Software changes and all that good stuff. So this was a unicorn car. In fact, not even one in a million. You can't find them anymore. They don't exist. So anyway, the unicorn car was hit. So we had them take it over to get an appraisal. And hoping beyond hope that it might survive, they gave her a rental car so that she could she continue to go about her daily business while they waited for the appraisal. Because it really wasn't safe to drive. You could lean into the door kind of hard and get the driver door to open, but it was hard to get in and out of. And sometimes it didn't wouldn't let you in and out of it. So it was deemed too dangerous to drive at that point. So we took it in, so she took it in. And again, my daughter is in college 900 miles away, a little over 900 miles. So they took it in. She got a rental car, and it was, good idea. I figured, if her car is going to get damaged or something like that, it's good to have the rental car because I can't get her a spare car just, on a whim. So anyway, I get a call one morning after she had taken it in from IAA. Anybody who knows IAA, these are the auction people. Well, I get a call from the auction people saying, hey, they're going to come get the car. And I'm like, why? And they're like, we don't know. We're supposed to go pick up a Prius. And I'm like, is it total? And they're like, well, we don't know. I mean, it could be being taken to get the inspection. So I'm like, or the appraisal. I'm like, well, all right. I said, but it's going to be real hard for you to get it here because I'm in Texas and my daughter is not. So we said, okay. Oh, ID4 did not want to slow down for that one. So anyway, so I said, my daughter is not here in Texas. So I gave them her phone number, and of course, they didn't say that the car was totaled. They just said, maybe they're just coming to get it for the inspection or for the appraisal, whatever. I'm like, all right, well, I really don't want it to be totaled because it is a unicorn car, and the damage really isn't that bad. Anyway, so of course they call her. She sets everything up. She figures I'm going to go over, get some stuff out of the car. Just she had some homework still left in the car or whatever. I don't know what she had in it, but she went over to go get the stuff out of her car. And of course, when she did, the young ladies at the front desk of the place said, "Oh, honey, we're so sorry to tell you, and we, can't believe that the insurance company didn't tell you, but yeah, they totaled out the car." Crap. All right, well, so at that point, basically, essentially, they give you a couple of days of rental cars for you to sort out a new vehicle. I had 5 days. 5 days to facilitate a new vehicle from another state in a supply chain crisis where nobody has new vehicles anywhere at all, ever, and the prices are sky high. Now, I'll be honest, the payout for the unicorn car was pretty decent. It was good. I mean, I don't think it took into account the fact, that it had a brand new $3,000 paint job that she had paid for of her own devices. But, all things considered, it was a pretty good payout for the car. So I went looking, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe a lease would be the best thing, because I like electric cars. I like electric cars. Maintenance is nothing. They're easy to take care of. As long as you can find a place to stick them in a wall socket somewhere, you're probably going to be able to do whatever you need to do. And especially my daughter. My daughter doesn't drive very much. She doesn't really like to drive. She doesn't like to take road trips, that kind of stuff. So an electric car would kind of be perfect for her. She lives downtown in a big city, so not a real big issue. So I thought, well, I know that EV leases are usually pretty cheap, so I went looking. And I came across the Kia Niro EV, and I'm like, well, that's not bad. It's decent. It's got 100 kilowatt fast charging, 240 miles of range. As near as make no difference. 240 miles of range. It's fine. It'll work great. And with the 100 kilowatt fast charging, she should be able to drive it. If she ever wants to bring it home, she should be able to drive it to 900 miles. I mean, I made a 900 mile trek to go see her in an electric car, and mine doesn't charge that much faster than that, so I think would be good. Plus, I think hers is a better efficiency than mine, miles per kilowatt hour kind of stuff. So, no big deal. I thought, well, let's do that. Well, of course, Kia was running a special, and again, this was, back at the beginning of the month of November 2021, and of course, again, supply chain issues being what they are, Kia was running a special. Kia Niro EX, non-premium, nothing like that. Kia Niro EX, $3,500 down, $199 a month. Okay, well, from the payout of the car, that would just about cover most of the lease. And, $199 a month, we could probably, it's not that hard to swing. So I figured we could go ahead and do that. I mean, I wasn't paying anything for a car before, but oh well. And I knew the insurance was going to go up because, newer car over an 06 Prius. 06 Prius costs me nothing to insure, everything else. So fine, let's go ahead and do that. So I start looking around. Only place anywhere near where she is a place in Huntsville, Alabama called University Kia, Huntsville, Alabama. All right, they have one Kia Niro EX. They had a 2020 Kia Niro EX Premium, but of course that wasn't a lease special. All right, so I get in touch with them and I start going back and forth, start going around and around with them, and they said, we're sorry, but that lease special ended yesterday. It ended on November 1st. This was November 2nd. That lease special ended yesterday. Well, crap. All right. Well, what can we do? How do we do this? All this good stuff. And I said, okay. Well, basically the best I can do, sir, $6,500 down and $299 a month for an EX. Not even a premium, the EX. Kind of got me over a barrel here, you jerks. And they knew it. And I'm the one with the target on my head. I didn't have time. I had, at that point, I think I had 3 days left to iron out a deal. And I was up against the wall. And I think they knew it. And they took full advantage. So, anyways, I said, fine. Let's do that. I'll be there tomorrow. And we'll get her done. So, of course, I hop in the car, and, we went back and forth, and I'm like, and as I was driving, of course, I was driving my electric car, so I had, 20, 30 minutes, and even a couple of 1 hour stops to charge the car, and I kept hounding them throughout the day. I'm like, can you send me the breakdown of all the numbers and everything else so I can peruse them while I'm stopped? And I kept getting back, oh, yeah, the finance manager's busy, he's busy, but, yeah, he'll get him to you, he'll try. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's swamped. So they would never give me the actual number. Just the fact that it's going to be $6,500 down and $299 a month. Should have been my first clue to say, you know what, screw you. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to have to figure something out. Whatever. I should have done it. I didn't, but I should have. Anyway, so I said, all right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. And so I kept running on my merry way. So I picked up my daughter in her town, drove another 2 hours in the rental car down in her rental down to go get this Kia in Huntsville, Alabama. Fine, we get there. First thing that happens when we get in the door, finance manager's like, hey, I gotta go. It's like 3:30, I think maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I got a family deal I need to go deal with. He said, is the deal okay? I'm like, well, I assume so. I'll look numbers, but everything seems to be, I expect what you say. And he's like, all right, I got to get out of here. Should have been another red flag. The guy who can do the deal needs to get out of here before he finds out how much he screwed you. Okay. Well, me not having slept 36 hours at that point, my brain is not up to functioning. I'm tired. I just drove 1,000 miles. Well, actually, probably at that point about 1,150 miles. Something like that. So, I just, need to get this done. I got 2 days to turn in this rental car. I got to have a car. I don't have any more options. I'm out. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. So I was out of options. I had nothing left to do. I had to make it happen. So anyway, we go in and we go to the finance guy, start actually signing all the paperwork. So we're signing the paperwork. I put down the rest of the cash down, and of course I'm going to get reimbursed when the car gets paid off, or gets paid back, all that good stuff. So I can float that amount. I'm lucky enough that I could float that amount. I prepared enough that I could float that amount for the amount of time that it's going to take to get the new car. So until I could get the payout from the old car. So we're like, all right, put down the money and start going over the numbers. It almost hurts to say. It pisses me off to say. It pissed me off then. It pisses me off now. But I'm like, first thing I said was, hey, the tax credit, I don't see that, the $7,500 tax credit, that's supposed to go back to y'all since it's a lease and reduce these numbers. And they said, oh, no, that's not the way we do things. They said, yeah, it's in, you can claim that tax write-off on your taxes. You get that $7,500. All right, well, then I'll just, pay that out toward the car when I do my taxes. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Me not thinking. That's not the case, by the way. That's not the way the leases work. If you lease a car, you do not get the $7,500. So that's lie number, what? How many lives are we up to now? Anyways, it's BS. The BS is getting piled higher and deeper. It's like a PhD, piled higher and deeper. I'm getting a doctorate and getting screwed. So we keep going. I'm like, all right, me again being tired, just roll with it. So kept going and got through all the paperwork. Everything's said and done. You get everything, and they're like, and the guy's like, all right, I'm gonna have to send you a temporary plate. All right, you make sure you send it to her in her town, not send it to me, in Texas, because that's going to be a real bear for me to get that to her. All right, give me the address and everything else. Fine. So we get her the address. At this point, it has been 2.5 weeks. She has yet to receive a temporary license tag. She's basically riding around with a sign in the window that says sold in a new car. I know it's illegal, but what can you do at that point? It was all done in good faith. It's just University Kia seems to not be able to figure out what the hell they're doing. Anyway, so again, I got screwed into paying way too much for a car. Oh, and one last thing. Also looking at the numbers, I didn't see this till later. They put a $6,000 premium on the car. $6,000 markup. Car's supposed to be $42,000 retail, MSRP. $42,000. If you go in there, you just walk in, you pay for it, it's $42,000. They had marked this at $48,000 so they could drive up the price of the damn lease. $6,000 premium. On top of the fact that they said, oh no, you get that $7,500 tax credit. So basically they pocketed an extra $13,500 off the fact that I was tired. That's on me. Completely on me. I was the idiot who did it. But they're unscrupulous bastards. And I would say, stay away from University Kia in Huntsville, Alabama for all that. Now, right now, I'm headed over to go get license plates for the car because they had titled it in Texas because essentially I'm on the lease. I wanted my daughter on the lease and I wanted me on the lease because I wanted her to get some, credit toward her credit score and all that good stuff. So I wanted her to be in on it. And I'll make payments, all that good stuff. But, we're pressing on with a great exuberance. The simple fact of the matter is that if I walk into this license place and they tell me, oh, you're going to have to shell out another X amount of taxes to pay for a $48,000 car because they didn't actually take that out in addition to the $13,500 they screwed me out of, I'm going to be more pissed than a wet panther. I'll tell you, University Kia and me are going to have serious issues at that point. So, I don't know yet. Y'all will find out probably in just a couple of seconds because I'm either going to get back in the car. I'm not going to say happy because I ain't happy about any of this, but at least I'll get in the car non-homicidal. So we'll just keep going, press on with a great exuberance, and see what happens. Well, that didn't go anywhere near as planned. Apparently, idiots didn't know my daughter would have to be here to sign all the paperwork to transfer the title. I'm a little pissed off. Okay, I'm a lot pissed off. I should have just followed my instinct, bought a car here in freaking Texas, and towed it up there with my damn Excursion. Could have probably found one down here where they didn't decide to sexually assault me in the finance room. And I wouldn't have been tired if I'd have known to keep my eyes open for unscrupulous bastards. So I recorded a little deal on the way out here, but essentially University Kia had one more over on me. They had pulled out Alabama sales taxes, which are 2.5% on new vehicles, were Texas sales taxes because they demanded I title it in Texas. They had me, or Texas does 6.5%. So I had to pay an extra $2,500 in taxes. Plus the title fees, plus everything else to actually get the tags to get to my daughter so that she could have a legal vehicle to drive. And they still never sent the damn temporary tag. So University Kia got one over on me. So all said and done, I had to pay $9,000 down and $299 a month, where technically it should have been, $3,500 down and $199 a month. But dealing with the taxes difference, it should have been $6,000 and $199 a month. So I got screwed over. They screwed me over. They saw, somebody who was in desperate need and basically bent me over a chair and had their way with me. So apparently the Better Business Bureau has gotten several complaints about University Kia in Huntsville, Alabama, and some of them are resolved. A lot of them are not. But essentially, they've got a record of doing this to people pretty often. So my advice to you is avoid these guys like the plague. I'd even venture to say that if this is the way Kia trains their dealers, avoid Kia like the plague. The car is fine. The car, my daughter loves the car, so it's working for her. She's still in college, so it's working out great for her. No complaints about the vehicle itself. It's the sales practices and everything else that are screwed. So I would avoid these guys like they've got COVID and are in an active coughing fit. If that helps you identify how much I dislike this particular dealership. And with this story being done, just let you know, if you're going to crash into that like button. Subscribe for more content on ID4, that Kia EV, or maybe my diesel excursion more floats your boat, or even my plug-in caddy. I'm going to be bringing back my 1966 Mustang and getting that put back together as well. So subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.